I wanted to talk to somebody who has done more coverage of Black Lives Matter as a movement than anybody else that I know. So I figured, hey, let's get Mr. Ernest on. So thank you for accepting the invitation and let's get right into it. So my first question for you is, with all of this new news, all of this new discovery, is Black Lives Matter dead?
That's a really good question. I don't think the movement itself, the people, right, who are on the ground, the activists, those local chapters on the ground are right. Before it was Black Lives Matter, it was the civil rights movement. Even before then, it was abolition, right? The movement and the progression to advocate on behalf of Black people that will never die. I would say that the leadership at the helm, those founders of this particular moment in time who started this particular aspect of the organization, I definitely think their time has passed. I think that their leadership and the way that people view them as the voice, I think that is extinct or going to be extinct. I think that where we are as a society, and I think as a community, specifically with Black people, right? I think we are seeing this information with the 990s. I think we're seeing some of the concerns around the leadership with this particular organization that has put us at pause, rightfully so. But I don't think that just because of some bad decision making on part of the founders of Black Lives Matter global network, which I want to be very clear, not the activists, the grassroots activists who are doing the work that is not working directly under this organization or loosely affiliated. I'm not speaking about them. That fight will continue. This work will continue beyond this leadership. So I would say to your answer, it's a yes and no. The founders and the leaders of BLM, right? I think that they have lost a lot of credibility within the Black community, and I think that their presence and their prominence, I think that is dying. But I don't think the actual activism, the spirit of the movement, and those people on the ground, I don't think that movement within itself is dead.
So, but I mean, can you really distinguish between the two? I mean, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, or what do they call it, BLM,
Mhm.
GNF, is can you really distinguish between the two?
I think most people don't, unfortunately. I think most people have just slapped everything with Black Lives Matter. Even organizations that are not Black Lives Matter gets Black Lives Matter. I think this reminds me of the 70s when any black radical voice was a member of the Black Panthers Party, even though they weren't a member of the Black Panthers Party. So I think that that's just an era of white people and mass media, right? Where anytime there is a prominent black movement, there's always going to be anyone a part of. I think there was a point in time where any black Muslim voice that was speaking about activism was automatically told they were part of the Nation of Islam or they were a follower of Farrakhan, and it was like not true. But that's just what happens in mass media. So I would say that it is hard sometimes for people to make that distinction, but I just think as black people, we just should not fall in the trap of like really painting a broad stroke and a broad brush of any activist we see out that's black and just say Black Lives Matter or just connect them to individuals like Patrice Cullors and others who have been criticized lately.